space between is about connecting people, places, and experiences through sound. It's a celebration of what unites us together and the differences that define our uniqueness and diversity. To me, this album feels like a continuation of momentum from my previous release, Heartbeat, but with a more defined sound and style and sort of continuity throughout. And the music really falls in between the lines and sort of between genre and boundary and outside of expectation. I've been really fortunate to have had a bunch of opportunities to travel all over the world to some incredible places and experience different cultures and people and art and language. And these memories are all really special to me, and so the feeling of nostalgia always manages to find its way into my music.
More than paychecks, I'm patient, pace setter. Spade and an ace in my sleeve, a 3-card money setup. Pull the tablecloth from the cutlery, cop the fee and other currency. I keep moving, using new quality. Excuse me for my lack of modesty, no anomaly. More you see, the less you be around the rest. Following trends, a hollow effect. Live long and prosper, long road, do it all for.
Right from the beginning, I knew that building this new sound was only going to be made possible through collaboration and expanding the whole scale of the project. So I'm really excited to be working with Christian Scott, aTunde, Adjuah, Vivian Sessoms, Nelson Dialect, Zayn Mohammed, Nick and Ben Capron, Brian Scott, all running remote sessions from New York, LA, DC, London, and then of course there's my incredible local band here in Australia, with some of my closest friends, Dylan Paul, Jack Stremple, Josh Chenoweth, and Tyler Venter.
Drumline from a prophet in the pocket, listening to Billy Cobham, Norman Connors, novices took an offer, no promise, policy zero tolerance. If you swallow it, indiscriminate, feet stuck when you follow, dig 'em in clay, gotta walk away from it, but where you been? Wearing thin on the penny in, high price on your feelings, how the gear shift, no signal when you steering, persevering, white knuckles on the wheel and wanna find a clear.
We're currently on our way to Wandenberg's studio. Lewis is going to be engineering the session over the next couple of days. But tonight we're just going to set up some drums to get the kit built and tuned up, ready to go for tomorrow. So I began writing some of these compositions after returning home from spending 12 months kind of traveling around overseas, but it wasn't really until early 2021 that the actual arrangements and the sonic direction started to take shape. Today's day one. It's drum day. We're getting all the foundational drum layers done, and then over the next few days we're going to be building on top of that with all the other parts, all the other instruments. That was feeling pretty solid.
We recorded all the drums through this Neve V-Series desk, Neve pre's as well, so these are 1272s, and we ran sort of kick and snare through these distresses here, and then we also ran some stuff through these 1176s here, because we had two snares, so we used it on the snare top, we also used another one on that.
A few weeks back, we spent an evening overdubbing some Chinese guzheng and erhu violin. And both of these instruments, actually, I came across for the first time when I was in China in 2019. And the sounds kind of stuck around in my head ever since then. And I really wanted to be able to draw on these really beautiful textures and kind of emotive strings. So yeah, these instruments were played by Zhao Liang and Wei Han Dai.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Christian Scott has been a huge influence of mine for years, and actually having the opportunity to work with him and with his label Stretch Music is a dream come true. His mentorship, his guidance, wisdom, generosity and time has been really pivotal in kind of pushing me forward and helping me to develop and refine my music and myself, and he's really helped to kick my butt into gear and push me out of my comfort zone and just keep me moving forward.
So Alex and I, we met backstage at a jazz festival in Europe, and I'll never forget, we're hanging out and he was with us, and something happened where, like, you know, there's like a glass of wine spilled, and I think it either got on his shoe or my shoe, someone's shoe, and I remember him just being just so sweet about whatever happened. So we started to talk about what music he was working on, and Alexander has always been like really reverential and warm. So we started to talk about his process and the things that he had going on. And at that point, he had sat in with us a couple times in sound checks and rehearsals, so we heard him play, and he could really play. You know, eventually, you know, we had some really personal moments and kind of rapped about his experiences in music and what he was into, and found some synergy there. And he played me this music that he'd been working on. And it was a red letter day for me in my life, because the things that he was developing, there was so much synergy and concept with what he was developing and the path that we have been embarking on. And this is when I found out that he was actually a fan of the music in that way, and he had been trying to build a sort of sonic architectural reality that harkened to the things that we had contributed. Now, I've heard many examples of that, but Alexander's approach to it for someone coming in the younger vanguard and the younger generation was probably the most comprehensively built that I had heard up until that point. And so a few months later, I asked him if he wanted to develop a project for Stretch Music, and the rest is history. You know, a lot of the American players are sort of looking to him for the newer style as well. So it's kind of cool to see all of those things kind of translate and go 360. You know, obviously he's embarking on his sophomore record, which is what we just tracked some of the stuff for as well. And it's been really great to work with a person that's also, you know, his eyes are open around everything that he's doing, but when you impart something to him, you see him weighing it to the degree that he'll be able to impart it to others as well. And that's really beautiful to see that in the younger generations.
Let's give the last one a go. The last track. For me, one of the most important aspects of this project is being able to disseminate this music as a vehicle to help expand and diversify our listening experiences, to open our ears, acknowledging and celebrating the similarities and differences between people, places, and experiences. What sets us apart and what brings us together? It's the space between.
My man Flood.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.